Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with Golden Opportunities Coaching. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we're doing around here. As of this moment, we are one subscriber away from 500 subscribers. We need 1,000 to start donating to charity. We'd love it to get there sooner rather than later. So if you could help out, that'd be awesome. And all you got to do is hit the subscribe button. It means absolutely everything, but costs absolutely nothing. So that's a good deal for you. You get updates of what goes on the channel on almost a daily basis, which can also be helpful for you if there's content on here that you find beneficial. If you are looking for coaching in life, business, entertainment, or relationships, then there's two ways to get in touch. You can either A, send a message on Twitter at PO Perception, or go to the About Me section of this YouTube page and then click on the link that is my website and go there. Today we're going to talk about worry. Worry has been a major issue, certainly for people through the COVID-19 pandemic situation all over the world, all over the country, and in almost every local community. But there's things that can cause worry to increase. I'm going to run through about 8 of those here. The first is perfectionism. The misnomer that something can be perfect. A perfect day, a perfect job, a perfect partner, a perfect anything is a misnomer because perfection is in the eye of the beholder, and what's perfect to you might not be perfect to someone else. Therefore, striving for perfection is a defeatist mentality in the long run, because at the end of the day, when we go to being, quote, perfect, we're constantly chasing something rather than enjoying it. So, eliminating the perfection mentality and moving towards a progressive model that says, I want to be the best version of myself that I can today. I'm doing the best that I can, but there's always things I can learn, is a much simpler way to kind of get past the worry and panic that comes with perfectionism. The next thing is self-criticism. Self-criticism also comes from the same source about the potential to be negative towards oneself. And that comes from the idea that there is a right way for you to behave, a right way for you to be. Who you are and how you behave determines your value in life. And this is not always the case. Certainly, there's things we want to avoid doing, extreme, harsh, or violent things, things that cause pain to others, certainly avoid those. But at the same time, intention has a lot to do with focus in this area, and self-criticism can be problematic because it focuses on what we don't do, and then our mind goes to what a failure we are and goes more towards the negative vent. If we start towards a neutral place instead, hey, there's things I could improve, but there's things I do really well, there's skills I have, there's value I have, there's talents I have, then it becomes easier to see ourselves in a balanced way. The self-image piece, that is how we see ourselves, but also how we want others to see us, the mask we put on in public situations or social situations, can also be extremely detrimental, because that focus on image, that is how we are seen, often causes us to wear a self-identity that isn't in alignment with who we truly are, which, keeping up the pretenses associated with that self-image, can be extremely difficult, if not extremely damaging in the long run, especially for people who already have a tendency towards being nervous, or people who are socially uncomfortable, and those sorts of situations. The next is people that deal with a lot of restlessness, the idea that they always have to be doing something. I've seen a lot of this during the pandemic, especially for extreme introverts who have a very small social circle, but they've been cut off from them. And so coping with that has been difficult. And then, of course, the really extreme extroverts who have to constantly be in motion in order to create, you know, a feeling of vitality and a feeling of life value. So restlessness can cause anxiety from both directions, which I don't think a lot of people realize. The awfulization of life circumstances and life events is another great thing. Now, I'm not that causes worry and anxiety. Now, in no way am I saying that we shouldn't, acknowledge tragedy and hardship. But what I am saying is the awfulization of every life event can cause problems. If we constantly go to a pessimistic place, the ability to regain our balance, which is the next thing on the list, balance is so important. Understanding that things are happening around us at every moment, but nothing is necessarily happening to us, in the sense that the world's circumstances are not against us per se. Our perception may be that they are, but life events happen whether we want them to or not. Therefore, the events themselves are are not charged with positive or negative energy, but how we view them can be. But if we awfulize that every event that happens is going to be negative or is negative, that can cause further anxiety because then we become fixated on and depressed about, nothing ever gets better for me and that type of mentality. The next thing is not having balance in work life balance, balance in social interaction versus alone time balance in just about every area of life. The more we understand that the polar opposites of life and that progress happens in the middle, the easier it is to reach our goals. No one can work 24 hours a day, but certainly you should work more than 2 hours a day, unless you're absolutely rich and you can afford to work less than 2 hours a day, in which case, please, I'd like to be of service to you in some way. Okay, jokes aside, the value of understanding that you have to find balance or should search to find balance within yourself nearly every day in every area of your life is an important part of living without excessive worry. The last thing is if your body is showing you signs that things aren't going well. Maybe you're having palpitations, maybe you're sick to your stomach, maybe you have migraines, headaches, physical pain, or other physical symptoms. When you're worried about something, this sign in your body is also a sign that your mind can't continue in that vein very much longer. And so, the more kind we are to ourselves when we're going through physical symptomatic experiences related to worry and anxiety, the better we can do in the long run. So, hopefully, this has been helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.